Off we go again, chasing his man. Now he's got him. Staying attached to the legs. This is his bread and butter. 2 finishes by heel hook.
Have you ever imagined a fighter who combines the wild showmanship and reckless energy of Paddy Pimblett with the raw rage and unstoppable power of Brock Lesnar?
Oh, he's out! Oh my goodness! That is one hell of a debut!
Well, brace yourselves because right now, Frederic Vosgröne is one of the most terrifying forces in the world of mixed martial arts. He's only 29, but his sheer presence alone sends chills down spines and makes people instinctively uncomfortable. Vosgröne has gained worldwide notoriety thanks to his savage, unorthodox fighting style. Once he gets a grip on you, it's like being caught in a bear trap. Opponents who've stepped into the cage with him say it's like trying to survive an encounter with a grizzly. Pure brute strength mixed with primal aggression.
Ja, das Ding ist, niemand kann mich ausnocken. Ja, so einfach. Deswegen wird er diese Chance nicht haben.
But what truly freaks people out, that creepy, unhinged laughter and the look of a full-blown maniac. This wild berserker Viking nicknamed the Neanderthal is undefeated, and his wrestling and grappling skills are nothing short of elite. Like Pimblett, he oozes charisma, and with the size and fury of a Lesnar-like beast, he's fast becoming one of the most explosive rising stars in MMA today. It's time to break down the hype behind this unstoppable warrior. The Neanderthal was born in Germany and first stepped onto the mats at just 16, diving headfirst into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Fast forward 7 years and he had already earned his black belt in the art of ground domination. But Frederic Vosgröne wasn't about to be boxed into a single discipline. With his sights set on an MMA career, he trained across the board, becoming a complete, well-rounded threat. He racked up medals and titles in grappling tournaments, carving out a name for himself on the European circuit. In the amateur scene, this Viking went on a rampage, stacking up around 50 wins with just 2 losses. That's not a record, that's a warpath. After clinching yet another gold at a European BJJ championship, Vosgröne made the call. It was time to go pro in MMA. And here's where it gets cinematic. The moment that lit the fire wasn't a live fight, but a video game. Back when UFC 2010 Undisputed dropped, it featured none other than Brock Lesnar on the cover. At that time, Brock was the most feared man in the octagon, a dominant UFC champion, and a larger-than-life juggernaut. Young Frederic didn't just admire Lesnar, he wanted to be him. That game, that image, that energy, it hit something primal. From that point on, the Viking knew exactly what he wanted: to walk in the footsteps of his warrior idol and make the MMA world his battlefield. Frederic didn't just train, he studied the science of combat like a scholar studies ancient text. He lived in the gym, grinding day and night, countless hours spent drilling wrestling techniques. Sharpening BJJ fundamentals and sculpting his physical condition paid off.
Ich will einfach den härtesten Kampf bekommen, den ich bekommen kann. Ich will den schnellen Weg an die Spitze nehmen und deswegen habe ich auch direkt Will herausgefordert.
Today, Frederic Vosgröne holds an unblemished pro record. 4 dominant, clean finishes. No decisions, no questions, just pure destruction. Every single victory has come early and violently. The Viking doesn't just win, he demolishes. And a huge part of that, his freakish strength. From a distance, Frederic looks less like a fighter and more like a professional wrestler or a heavyweight bodybuilder. A human tank with the engine of a predator. What's even more mind-blowing is that Vosgröne has already tested his might in 3 different weight classes and conquered all of them. Middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. The Viking has left wreckage in every division he's touched. So, here's the burning question. What's the secret behind the German juggernaut's unstoppable rise? When it comes to world-class wrestlers or grapplers from Germany, the list is short. That's because the country has never been a true breeding ground for these combat sports. But Frederic Vosgröne, he was never interested in being typical. After 7 years of relentless training, he earned his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not in Germany, but in the heart of London, under one of the UK's most respected coaches, Dicky Martin. But the Neanderthal wasn't about to settle. He knew the path to greatness meant thinking globally. He expanded his fight IQ by training with elite coaches from around the world, building a multicultural powerhouse team of 4 coaches, each bringing a different discipline, a different edge. And while his jiu-jitsu is razor sharp, his wrestling is just as deadly. A defining moment came in 2020 when Frederic entered the prestigious Global Grappling Showdown, the No-Gi World Championship. This unofficial annual battleground draws the very best grapplers on the planet, and Vosgröne secured a hard-fought 3rd place. It wasn't just a medal, it was a message. This Viking is coming. Coaches and spectators alike saw the potential. He wasn't just strong, he was smart, technical, and explosive. The only thing standing between him and victory? Experience. But that didn't stop him. Frederic began traveling the world, jumping into every tournament he could find, racking up podium finishes and making a name for himself in every corner of the grappling world. By 2021, the German National Committee took notice, sending him an official request to represent the country on the international stage. It was recognition. It was validation. It was a launch pad. Crowned as Germany's top grappler, Vosgröne decided it was time. Time to take all that amateur dominance, all of that fight mileage, and bring it to the cage. His deep combat roots, his global experience, and his relentless drive became the fuel for a devastating MMA debut. And the rest is only the beginning. There's no denying the hype surrounding the Neanderthal, but when it comes to predicting his future in the fight game, you've got to keep your expectations sharp and your optimism cautious. Wrestling and grappling, that's where Vosgröne reigns supreme. It's his fortress, his battlefield. His opponents simply can't match him when the fight hits the mat.
Was that good enough for you? I destroy these guys. I'm coming for you.
And you might argue, but let's be real. Wrestling is the single best base for any fighter stepping into the MMA world. It's the art of control, the art of domination. But even this Viking has his Achilles heel, and it's standing right in front of him, literally. Frederic has some serious holes in his striking game. He's been caught and caught hard by power shots and sharp counters. The only reason he's still standing, that iron chin. The guy can take a punch like he's made of stone. And here's the wild part. Instead of avoiding danger, Vosgröne runs toward it. He loves a brawl. He feeds off the chaos. He dives into risky exchanges where he often comes off second best, not because he has to, but because he wants to entertain. That makes him dangerous and vulnerable. His love for high-octane violence might win fans, but it won't win belts unless he evolves. Right now, his world-class ground game covers up those striking deficiencies. But once he enters the upper echelons of the UFC, those flaws won't just be exposed, they'll be exploited.
Fühlt sich sehr gut an, so gut versorgt hier zu werden und ich freue mich schon auf meinen nächsten Kampf und meine Karriere baugt da.
To truly rise, he'll need more than grit and grappling. He'll need to sharpen the blade and learn to strike like a killer, not a crowd pleaser. The hype is real, and the buzz surrounding Frederic Vosgröne is opening doors on a massive scale. This Viking isn't just a fighter, he's a phenomenon. His wild persona and unfiltered charisma could easily catch the attention of the UFC, and soon. Let's face it, the world's biggest fight promotion lives for media-savvy warriors who bring carnage and chaos inside the cage. And Frederic, he's got that Brock Lesnar energy written all over him. Right now, Vosgröne is cutting through the MMA scene like a battle axe, standing out from the pack with a mix of raw power and outrageous theatrics. His fan base already in the hundreds of thousands. His antics, bold, loud, and impossible to ignore. But here's the jaw-dropper. Since his debut in the regional promotion, Octagon, the league's social media numbers have exploded. A 15-fold increase in followers. That's not hype, that's the impact. Now all eyes are on mid-June. The Viking will face Lucas Alcina, a veteran, a technician, and by far the most dangerous opponent of Frederic's career. This fight, it's a proving ground. If Vosgröne delivers the kind of savage finish he's known for, he'll do more than win. He'll cement his legitimacy, climb the rankings, and ignite a new wave of fans. The UFC loves violence, drama, and larger-than-life characters. Vosgröne checks every box. One thing's for sure, every time this mad Viking steps into the cage, it's a must-see carnage. And sooner or later, that cage is going to be inside the UFC octagon.